In this video, I'll be going over questions I frequently receive from my clients who are relocating to or living in the Dallas area. What's up guys, my name is KMAC and I'm your local trusted real estate agent and investor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And if you're finding this channel or all of this content potentially interesting to you on all things Dallas-Fort Worth, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It truly does help. Now the question I hear the most is, what's the best area to live in Dallas? And that's actually kind of a little bit of a complex question because the answer is really going to depend on kind of what you're looking for in a community and lifestyle. When you're thinking of moving here though, there are several things I'd need to know to kind of help you find the sweet spot for you. Now for starters, where's your job going to be and how long are you willing to commute? Are good schools for your kids a must-have? What do you like to do in your free time? Do you prefer the quiet suburbs or the bustling city life? And very importantly, what is your budget? Your answers to these questions help me narrow down areas that might be a good fit for you. It's not just about picking a place, it's about finding a community where you'll be happy and comfortable. Now me personally, I've lived kind of all over the metro. I've lived in Plano, Texas. I've lived in Farmers Branch. I've lived in Irving, and I now live in East Dallas. And I can say I'm not gonna be living here for much longer and probably relocating to Southlake. It's probably a couple years down the road, but needless to say, I've kind of lived all over the metropolitan area, so I have a good idea if what you're looking for is a certain or specific type or community or area, or really whatever you may be looking at the end of the day. I've kind of lived all over and I have a good consensus of obviously the entire market itself because I truly sell homes all over the metroplex. Now, one of the best questions that I get for my real estate investor friends out there or people that are looking to invest just somewhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth area is, what city do I need to invest in? And I'm gonna leave that open for discussion because there are so many different levels to that. I could essentially make an entire video in that in itself, maybe 10, 20, or 30 minutes long, just talking about the different areas of Dallas-Fort Worth and where I would invest in. One thing I can say is I own about $5 million in rental properties, and I've got properties all over the Metroplex, so make sure to reach out to me personally. All of my information is going to be down in the description below. Again, reach out to me personally, and I'll do my best to be able to meet with you or discuss with you privately on what areas of our Metroplex are gonna be the best to invest in. Now, another big question is about the weather, and this is oftentimes what I get from out-of-state clients. Now, if you're moving from a place with a clear, distinct season, you might be kind of in for a bit of a surprise. Now, Dallas definitely has humid summers and mild winters, but don't expect a traditional fall or spring. The weather can kind of swing wildly, especially during the fall. One day it could be scorching hot, and the next you might actually need a sweater. While we do get our fair share of thunderstorms and the rare tornado, snow and ice are pretty uncommon. But when ice or snow does happen, I essentially tell people to avoid commuting or getting out on the road because we don't really have any snow plows here. We don't have any de-icers. We don't have anything that really accommodates that type of weather because we may see it once or twice in an entire year. Now, my fiance is actually from Montreal, Canada, where it's essentially winter for 6 months of the year. And so she's really loving the idea that on New Year's Day, I was able to actually go out to the park in a t-shirt and shorts and run around. She also loves the idea that it's February or March now and it's great weather. But the downside is summers, especially this last summer in 2023, summers get hot here, and they get hot for not just one day, but they get hot for an extended period of time. So if you're relocating here or if you've not really lived here before, just enjoy the nice weather that we get or the more mild winters that we get, knowing that the summers, you're probably gonna be running from one place that has air conditioning to another location that has air conditioning. Now, transportation is another key topic that comes up quite often. A lot of folks actually ask, do I need a car in Dallas? And the answer, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on, kind of your outlook and whether or not you like to drive, is yes. Dallas is spread out over a massive area with lots of suburbs and cities that make up the entire Metroplex. Now, unless you live and work in a very walkable area, such as Uptown, or potentially in a high-rise in downtown Dallas, you're going to definitely need a car to get around. Now, public transportation exists, but it's not as great as New York, Boston, or Washington, D.C. So again, if you're relocating here, just plan to have a car, and probably a car that's economical, because you could potentially wind up driving quite a bit. Now, moving on to places to visit in Dallas. Now, when it comes to entertainment in Dallas, I have a ton of recommendations. And it's probably one of the reasons I love living here. I've not lived here my entire life. I've lived here for about 8 years, but the entertainment here is amazing. So whether you're into art, food, sports, or shopping, there's something truly for everyone. And that kind of happens when you have a Metroplex that has 10+ million people. Now, the design district is great for art lovers. Bishop Arts District offers unique shops and eateries, and Deep Ellum is the go-to spot for nightlife and live music. Now, sports fans should definitely check out the Star in Frisco, where the Dallas Cowboys headquarters are located. And as well as downtown, you've got the American Airlines Sports Center, where both the Mavs as well as the Dallas Stars play as well. Now, in regards to shopping and dining, places like these shops at Legacy and Grandscape are fantastic. Each of these spots has their own kind of vibe and offerings, making Dallas a hugely diverse and exciting place to explore. Now, as I just mentioned myself, I've only been living in Dallas specifically for 8 years and Texas for close to 10, but I can tell you the massive amount of commercial growth here just in the last 8 years since I got into real estate is massive. We're talking Grandscape itself up in the Colony area, right off 121, didn't even exist when I initially moved here in 2017, and now it's got just about anything and everything that you could imagine. We've got obviously the large Nebraska Furniture Mart if you want to spend an entire day just shopping for homemade furniture, or we've got a ton of entertainment there. I personally have enjoyed the mini putt-putt golf as well as all the other different restaurants. Also, it's a great place to be able to take kids. It's got live music there. You've got a Ferris wheel. They kind of have a walkthrough adventure that's going to be seasonal, that changes pretty consistently, so you can go periodically and have a different experience every single time that you go. And last but not least, cost of living. Now, a lot of people are curious about the cost of living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Buying a home here can widely range in price, but on the average, you might be looking around $400,000 or $450,000. Now, utility bills themselves run about $260 a month, and gas right now is about $3.30 a gallon. Now, these numbers can give you a rough idea, but for a more detailed look at living costs, check out one of my recent videos which breaks down the entire cost of living in Dallas in more full detail. The link is going to be in the description and in the info card. Now, one of the biggest things that I love being a real estate agent and real estate investor here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area is being able to help people. That's, at the end of the day, just what I love about this business. Having not always been a real estate agent myself, prior to this, I was in college to get a degree in math, and even when I was in college, I was a math tutor. Then I transitioned eventually from being a math tutor and student to teaching high school. But also when I taught high school, I was a wrestling coach. Even dating back to when I was in the Marine Corps and I was a pistol marksmanship instructor, I just love coaching, I love educating, and I love helping people. So when it comes to frequently asked questions, I love being able to give my feedback. It doesn't necessarily have to be taken 100%. You can have your own opinion at the end of the day, but I do love giving feedback in an area that I call home, but not just home right now, a place that I'm gonna be able to call home for the next 50 or 60 years of my life. Thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help, and stay tuned for the next video.